connecting. And, okay, and we're back live again. There you go. So, hi, it's Steve Tomaszewski. We're live at the streets of Woodfield, Starbucks up there. Thanks, everybody out there. Cliff Burrows, Paul Overstock, Paul Overly, Michael Morgan, all the baristas here. Thanks for what you do. Today's show, and all of our sponsors, Mediavine Marketing, Wounded Heroes Foundation, WoundedHeroesFund.net, along with Honda, SchaumburgHondaAutos.com. Thanks to Ryan Warman. Give a shout out to him. Tilted Kilt. Thank you to the Tilted Kilt for inviting us out on the first Thursday of every month, 1140 East Higgins. Welcome home, troops. 5 to 8 p.m. First Thursday of every month, 1140 East Higgins. That is so cool. Inland Home Mortgage, Jerry Collins, Laura Bice. Thank you for what you do. Go to inlandhomemortgage.com. Over 30% of mortgages today are approved or can be approved. No points, no fees. Take a look. Inland Home Mortgage, anywhere in the United States. Ticks for cause. Something we should be doing. The first Thursday of every month, we're at the Tilted Kilt. 1140 East, and it's for all troops. World War II, Korean War veterans. We do call it a war. I do. Vietnam, the Vietnam War. We have another show called Where's My Brother, a Vietnam special. The first Wednesday of every month, very first Wednesday, is the VFW hour at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Any VFW post, commander, district commander, we do have the state commander on, the state adjutant. A shout out to Jeff Newberry out there at corporate HR Public Relations. Hi, Jeff. And it's just to get the word out on what the VFW is doing today. I look forward to seeing you. The American Legion, some really nice people out there. Patrick Gallagher, Marty, how you doing? Marty Callahan, excuse me. The Chicago Police Department, we have a show coming up for. Chicago Fire Department, Brotherhood for the Fallen. We had a Chicago officer slain last week in Chicago. We stopped one of our shows, did a special tribute for Officer Clinton Lewis. Our heart and our prayers go out to his family. And they have captured the perpetrators at this point. So, Chief Gary McCarthy, your men and women out there are doing a great job defending our soldiers' family. And what a tragedy it is today that someone would actually take the life of an officer. It turns out they may have been looking for someone else. And Officer Clinton Lewis, I hope I'm saying it right, was killed. So today, where is my tax dollars? Really starts off, we're going to go over to BTR. And what's really nice is we do want to give a little taste of home. And in the Chicago Tribune, we say a special shout out to them. Thank you. Okay, who gets the overtime? The rules are complex. Behind protest, one woman and a pet. Outstanding in her field. Current producers leader knew she would be a CEO someday. Planning proper businesses were there. Eileen Gordon. Certainly wasn't the first young girl in the 1960s to balk when she was told to take a home economics instead of a shop class. It's what she did about it that foreshadowed her path to the latest of Fortune's magazine's 50 most powerful women. There you go. So take a look at today's Chicago's Tribune. A string of classic celebrities, David Cult's Chicago Music Exchange. No one really comes clean in two views of the Madoff affair. Wow. Not only do we have to fight for our tax dollars, but today you have to worry about people you trust with your money. And some people obviously devastated. There we go. So we're just looking at some of the outstanding interference. Eileen Gordon's plan for Corn Products International has included diversifying and expanding globally. Moving on up, there's something new out there. Chicago upcoming events. Introduction to Facebook at the Tribune on January 10th. Printers Row, Luis Uria, January 11th. Understanding Facebook's advanced features. And Steve, what does that got to do with my tax dollars? Well, if you're not making money, you're not making any money. You're not paying any taxes. So first you got to make the money. And we're going to look briefly at the obituaries here. Warren Collins Jr., a veteran. Walter Gunty, a veteran. Walker Johnston, a veteran. Nathan Mendes has passed away, a veteran. Lawrence O'Brien, a veteran. Edward O'Dowd, a veteran. Ronald Richmond, a veteran. William Herschel Rose, a veteran. Father William Dennis Ryan, a veteran. And Albert W. Vicks, a veteran. Why do we say a special tribute to them? Probably paid taxes their whole life, okay? And one of the things you want to make sure that we're going to just start off today, a very light show this month, by the way. Still in the paper, tax notices for default properties. It's just endless. I don't know if you can see this here or not. We'll go back over to our live stream, everything that's out there. You know, it's just never ending. It's appearing it's slowing down. A new friend I just met out in Las Vegas, disabled veteran, Vietnam veteran. We got to talking, and you know, a lot of things can be done for these tax dollars that help bail out our banks. And be it that I was in mortgage lending for years, you know, again, we say, you know, my tax dollars going to save the economy. You know what? I don't, and I personally feel that, you know, the tax dollars shouldn't have been used to anything to hold up the economy. It's unfortunate, and, you know, people would be, you know, devastated. The economy would go into turmoil. Really? How much worse could it have gotten? Think about that. There's a lot of small businesses out there that did not get one dime, $1, when their business failed. They were said, well, you went into business, you knew the risks. Okay. And yet our banks, you know, you just look at, you know, the companies out there that got all those money and their bonuses after they were bailed out of, that's wrong. So be it that you're a Republican or a Democrat or a Tea Party or a protester, you know what, you do have the right to do something, and the events coming up this year, unfortunately, are already a year away. And what you saw our current president, excuse me, who I respect and love to death, is that, you know, it's inherent. And he was handed the reins of a failing economy and now being held accountable to fix it in 4 years. Really? Well, you know, just like our radio show here, it's taken a year to get it kind of off the ground and get it fledgling and get it going. I think it's going to be a tough race. And, you know, I'm not politically correct all the time, but an incumbent president is tough to beat. We wish him all the best in the world. Our First Lady, who helps out with our veterans, helping to build homes for our veterans, over 1,000. I know she's participated in. And all you need to do is participate in one. But what really needs to be done here, and where's my tax dollars? You know what? I've been attending a lot of the Congress people running for Congress, and there's got to be a better way. I mean, I think you really do need, you know, a master's degree. I really do think you've got to be in business. People like Ross Perot and or Donald Trump, you know, go, why don't they want to do that? Well, there's, you know, it's the right thing to do, but, you know, the first thing that we have to teach all our politicians about our tax dollars, quite honestly, is how to run a checkbook. And I don't know about you folks out there, but after your checkbook or debit card is at zero, now what do you do? Think about that. And I'm looking at my glasses here. I had forgotten my other pair, and they're a little broken, so if I look a little funny today, well, I can do this. You know, it's not meant for any other reason. And, you know, if we all start off, you know, this year with Checkbook 101, how much is in the bank? Okay, let's put it like this. How much is in your checkbook? Okay, do you have a job? Just right before I got on the show, I got a call from someone who says, you know what, I want to come to Chicago, I want to make some sales, and this is really going to work. And I got to go, you know, what my favorite Uncle Ed used to say is, you know what, Stevie, before you come over and cut my grass, make sure the grass in your own backyard is cut. 3 people in my life can call me Stevie. My grandmother, Catherine Melik Tomaszewski, my aunt, Lorraine, my Uncle Ed's wife, and my Uncle Ed. That's it. And the nice thing about all that is that if you take the basics of what you need, I applaud the efforts of Susie Orman living below your needs. You know, this is a luxury for me to be here at the Starbucks. Coffee is $2, $3, whatever it is. And the way you have to multiply everything is to say, what does it cost per year? The cognizant effort, I'm going to take a little bit of my Starbucks, I'll turn that around. There it is. Yay, Starbucks. They allow me to sit here. So how I rationalize it, I'm paying rent of $3 for a cup of coffee and a Gold Card member, and I also ask permission to sit here from the CEO of North America. And if you're respectful of other people's time, we all want things for free, but understand that, you know, we're still recovering from what people said, hey, move in for free. And this baloney sausage about that these no income, no asset loans were the debacle of the United States. Really, Bernie Madoff? Really? His son took his life. Where's your tax dollars? People complaining that not only did they have $100,000, and I'm not being negative here, this is just a part of reality, that they worked hard for their money, they gave it to a trusted investor, and they lost money. I need to remind everyone in the United States who can read at a 4th grade level, on any type of investment, there is a risk. Do you understand that? There's an inherent risk. And not just from the big Wall Street people. You can invest into a motorcycle. You can invest into a boat. You can invest into furniture. If you buy a $500 couch, how much is it worth a year later? Oh, yeah, I forgot. If you buy and I do one of my car shows, how to buy a new or used car. You fight hard, you pay your taxes, and it's like, okay, well, your $20,000 car is now worth $15,000. Oh. And if you keep that car, and what you have to be cognizant of the fact, where's your tax dollars? You're trying to say taxes, 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 Steve, is, okay, let's go back and start with everybody here and go to all local city and governments and just say to them immediately, stop the spending. And the next time I hear that one of our governments or someone is going to start laying off and all non-essential personnel, I need you to underline this, non-essential personnel. If you want to laugh, non-essential personnel. So let me ask you something. Let's say you're a small business and it's slow, and it's you and possibly your wife or you and your husband, and you got your kids running the business, and now you hire one of their friends to watch the store on Sundays when it's very, very slow. And then as you look at it, you know, it costs you $100 to keep the store open all day and you made no sales. That's $100 a week. That's $5,200 a year. Maybe it won't be open on Sundays. What does that mean to the employee on Sunday? Non-essential personnel. Okay, or you can do it, right? Our armies, our military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coasties will always be paid. Period. That's the end of that. That's the law. That's the United States. That's the way that goes. Number 2, fire department and police will always be paid. Doesn't mean we can't cut back here and there. Okay, let's look at that. Number 3, Social Security will always be there. That's not going to change. If we can bail out Citicorp and Shearson Lehman, Social Security is going to be there. Because in today's economies, that's all what most people have. Do you understand that 1 out of 5 people, now closer to 1 out of 4, do not have health insurance today? Really? Yeah, really. And the logics behind that is it can run you $400 or $500. I know a family pays close to $2,000 a month because they have a medical issue. And, you know, what if I don't? So today's number one lesson we're going to learn about where's my tax dollars is Checkbook 101. Even before you get into fighting, and the next time I hear about the National Popcorn Museum, or now you got to remember, this is called the Soldier's Family Radio and TV Talk Show. We got some great stuff coming up this month. Is that I have paid personally and or donated a few hundred shows at no cost or no charge for 501(c)(3)s, charities and organizations that do good, and companies. And we believe in giving away the razor to get the razor blade business. But what I'm not understanding today is even before a person become a state senator or a state representative, is they really don't have a handle, and a lot of these positions are open, and there's no one running against them. And they get there, and they may not only pay them a few dollars. A lot of these cities, their mayors only make $20,000 a year. It's a part-time job. The city manager, on the other hand, is the one running the show. Then you have your alderman. Then you have your councilman. Okay? But I have to say to each person out there today, even before we can start talking about where's your tax dollars, I'll use my right hand, where's your tax dollars, is you got to understand Checkbook 101. So, you know, take this show, and someone's going to say, take this show, and you can already hear it coming. And just start there. The logic of this is understand that at any given time, anywhere in the world, people who can or cannot afford something are making a cognizant decision of what they can afford. And they always think somebody else has the money. So today's recommendation from, I'll say from me, is to start with your own checkbook. And if you're a statesman, a state representative, a congressperson, I understand that an Illinois congressperson makes a salary of $174,000 a year. Plus, they raise money. I've seen someone recently raise close to $400,000 plus running for Congress. And it's a business. I understand that. But if your district is that big, and, you know, what are you doing? I'm in Congress. I'm voting for this. I mean, when freshmen congressmen come into office, first thing they do is go to congressman school, and they teach them the basics. Shouldn't you kind of know that before you run for Congress? Well, I can make a difference. I ran my own business for 20 years. Yeah, not really. It's good that you have the business background and you can go, you know, black and white. But if you were in the, I'm looking out the window here, and let's say you were in the sign business and you're making signs, awnings and all that, and then one day you go, wow, I just saw something with illuminated awnings, so I want to sell those. Big fad years ago. And, well, you're going to need a specialist. You're going to need an electrician to install it. Well, my guys can do it. Really? What's their training? Well, they've been hanging signs for a year. They've been around electricities for a year. You know, our unions are there for a reason. You do have union staff or personnel who leave the industry and start their own companies, do small union shops. But business today, working with business, if you go to work and want to sell something to a Fortune 100 company, they're going to look at you. They're going to possibly ask you for your tax returns. Are you profitable? Your website. What are you doing? Who do you know? It's a referral. And it's like I recently had a very large corporation take over 2 months to pay a couple $100 bill. I had to be put into their system. Yet I can go online to their company today and buy a $1,000 product and have it to me in 3 days. So the logic behind all this is we're going with today, and we're just starting off with where is our tax dollars. We're going to take a short break. And here's what we're going to start with for this month on Where's My Tax Dollars. Checkbook 101. How much money is in your checkbook? Let's start there. Now, if you're a city, a village, a township, a state, and you owe money, let's start cleaning up those debts. And I recently saw something, I'm from Chicago, that the public school systems had people working 1 day a month and collecting 2 pensions, full pensions. Immediately saw the Cook County president spring into action. You know, those are little loopholes, so you ask yourself, just like going to any place out for lunch every day, if it's $5 or $10 a day, it's $50 a week, it's $200 a month, it's $2,500 a year. Yeah, you have to earn $3,000 to go to lunch every day. Oh, no, it's just $5, just $10. Yeah, it's $3,000. Oh. So, you know, hats off to Tony Preckwinkle, Chicago Public School System, jumping or Cook County. Sorry about that. You know, start in your own backyard. You know, I always use the example. How many pins, if you had a balloon that's filled up like this, as big as your head, how many pinholes do you need in a balloon for it to deflate? 1. So talking to people like State Treasurer Dan Rutherford, trying to, you know, keep his handle on it, our comptroller, Judy Bart Topinka, you know, ask people. And I watched this with some of Microsoft. Hey, got an idea? Tell us about it. So this is not whistleblowing. This is like, hey, this is our tax dollars. You know, our government should be self-sustaining, and we're all paying into this, all of our money going into the schools. We have school teachers across the United States complaining that they're only making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. They're in a union. They got a pension. And it's like, you know, then work 40 hours a week. We have a school district that I've seen that, you know, the average salary for that for those teachers were well over $80,000 to $90,000 a year. It's a hell of a job. Hell of a job. I think our police and firemen should be making that. They're willing to risk their life over pulling somebody over for a broken taillight or a stoplight. And we have people complaining that, well, and we're a little bit off topic here, so I won't really, you know, beat a dead horse, as they say. But let's go back to square one. I'm Steve Tomaszewski. This is Soldiers Family Radio and TV Talk Show. Ask any business person out there. Checkbook 101. How much money's in the checkbook? What's our 2-year business plan? What's our exit strategy? What's our streams of income? We know all that, Steve. Really? What's your debt? Well, I inherited that. Guess what? You're in office for 2 years. You're in office for 4 years. If you can erase that debt 4 years, try to do something, you're voted in or out. When you look at the unemployment figures, which are basically 8 to 18%, some people have just given up. I truly believe that there's a job out there. I know a person in the military who was a airplane pilot. I'll put it like that. And today that person is working a minimum wage job because that person wants to work. And they know it's a temporary situation. They go, this is what I have to do. And I think that's, if we get that across today, we have to start with the basics right here. So on our YouTube show right now, Inline TV, In-Time TV, iStream TV, Ustream TV, Twitter, Facebook TV, Blog Talk Radio, all the above. Start with square one. What do I have? Next thing is, where is my revenue streams? Do I have any? Okay. And but I tell you what, folks, the next time I see a National Popcorn Museum being sponsored by a congressperson or whatever the craziest thing is, I'm going to find a way to literally call them up and ask them, why would you do that? Oh, it's going to create jobs. Well, okay. As soon as you can help out every veteran in your congressional district and get them a job, which would help your district, okay? Go to each and every business in your community. I know some of the people here in the Midwest do that. Come on out, tell us about your business. How can we help you? Dr. Robert Petzel, Undersecretary of the VA Health Department, 230,000 plus employees. Anybody says hello to him, he goes, good, anything I can help you with? Okay, points to his staff, write that down, let's see if we can help that. That's where it starts. So all these great, monarchies out there that owe 30 million, 40 million, 50 million, 300 million, a billion, a trillion. Let's go back to square one. And, if we can do that, then we can talk about it. But really, the good Lord help the person who is going, the congressperson making $170,000 a year. You better have a plan. And you better be studying not just the Constitution, not just our amendments, but you better be studying about what's most important to the people in your district, whatever you're running for. That's Checkbook 101. You want to go to your food banks? You want to look around? You want to look at your homeless? You want to look around? How about your VFW, American Legions, and AMVETS? Can you make one of those a week? Go to your Department of Employment Security once a month. But we have to get the word back out there, like this airplane pilot. I'm willing to work, and we're all working for half of what we used to earn and working 5 times and 3 times as hard. 2 times more work and half the money and 2 and 2. Half the work, 2 times the hours. Well, back, years ago, I was making X amount of dollars a year. No one cares. So look to those companies that are doing business. Get a position within the company. I think Susie Orman, God bless her, says it right. Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Aycock, United States Army. If you're filling a sandbag, be the best sandbag filler you can be. If you are a waitress at a restaurant, be the best darn waitress you can be. Watch your tips go up. If you're a hairstylist, be the best darn hairstylist you can be. Watch your monies go up. You'll get more hours, whatever it is. If you're a truck driver, obey the speed limit. Be the best truck driver you can be. But even before we get into all this great, the ludicrous of where's my tax dollars, if we ask our local state representatives, our state senators, and our congresspeople, and hold them accountable, that's really their job. I don't think we should really have to chime in and say, what's going on. I had a local person here saying, well, when I become mayor, I'm going to get rid of the city car. Okay. Very positive thing. But in the next question I asked to go, well, they're running at this huge deficit, millions of dollars. What about that? How do you compare saving $8,000 when you're $30 million in the hole? Well, it's a start. Now, $8,000 a day times 30 days is $2 million a year. So you have to really look at these projects without increasing the tax base, decrease the tax base, let businesses run. But if you don't understand that, that's it. Anything that we can do to protect our soldiers and help them with prosthetic limbs. And some of these veterans groups out there, 501c3s or 3Cs, and I'm dyslexic. You know, you got a grant to go to another country to bring business to that country. And you're veteran friendly. Well, you know, it's part of the Americas. Hey, that's great. I'm glad that, you know, Guam is, we're moving our Marine base out of Okinawa into Guam. That's great, $10 billion. There's some young man or woman out here in Keokuk, Iowa that needs a job. What about them? They're right here. So, you know, I know we're a global economy. Let's just kind of say that it really is run for other businesses. Go online. Checkbook 101. So we're going to end the show right now and say thanks for listening to Where's My Tax Dollars Today. Today's show, Checkbook 101. Let's start there. Once you got the checkbook down, you know what you have. Number one, you know what you have. Number two, you know what you might have by the end of the month. Number three, what you might have next month. Checkbook 101. Next month, Where's My Tax Dollars? We're inviting on several people who are currently holding office or running for office, and they're going to go through a Checkbook 101 test. Thanks. So we're going to hang on here to our Blog Talk Radio listeners and say thanks. Seeing that Denver made it into the playoffs, God bless them. A little bit of sporting news. Chicago Blackhawks loss, bucking the odds. LSU versus Alabama tonight. There's a good show, huh? What have we else got going out here today? Joe Paterno wants to tell all. Wow. Well, what's that? What's there to tell? The scoreboard coming up here. So again, thanks to all of our sponsors, the WoundedHeroesFund.net. Shout out to everybody there. Take a look. 97% of their proceeds go back to helping the veterans, giving them toiletries, clothing, backpacks when they come back if they've been hurt. Over at Walter Reed, big motorcycle ride coming up. Schaumburg Honda Autos, thank you for everything you do. John Barrett, Ryan Rohrman, Chase Rohrman, Bob Rohrman, J.R. Rohrman. Literally wrote a check and for Brian Anderson and let him do his own television show on PBS, WTTW, Channel 11. Thank you, Mr. Rohrman. If you're looking for a car, nice people to do business with. Inland Home Mortgage, Jerry Collins, Laura Bice. Thank you. You know, 30% of all mortgages qualify for a VA loan. Think about that. Saving points, lowest interest rates, inlandhomemortgage.com. Ticks for Cause. God bless them. You know, if you or your organization get a request for a charity request, go to Ticks for Cause. So right on our website, underneath Ticks, the right-hand side. So go right over here. I have to go sideways. On our website, sftvr.com. Take a look. EMB Consultants, Elizabeth Belcaster, thank you. Looking at some new people coming in. Fifth Third Bank, thank you for being a sponsor. Helmets to Hard Hats, thank you. Michael Mick Yeager, President, Illinois Teamsters, 786. Philip Martini, Heroes to Healthcare, a new website coming out. You know, you just keep looking through all this stuff here. GoDaddy. Thank you to Bob Parsons. Looking forward to him to be on the show. Dan Rutherford, State Treasurer of Illinois. Judy Bart Topinka. Tilted Kilt. Thank you. Chicago Hockey Express. $9 tickets. ChicagoHockeyExpress.com. 3 hours of fun. Signing autographs. $1 beers. $1 hot dogs on Fridays. Look at your ECHL. Great people. We're going to sign off now, as we always do, and say, hey, take a look at our website. Become a member today. Go under our Donate tab. It's right there in the center. It says Donate. And for 91 cents, become a member and call at any time for a free minute shout-out to the troops. Today's show was a narrative. Most of them are. We'll be accepting callers starting next month. But become a member. It's 91 cents. Appreciate that. I'm Steve Tomaszewski. Remember what we always say. If you can't stand behind our troops, we suggest you stand in front of them. Good night, Chester. We're going to take a short break at sftvr.com.